In the last video, we saw how widgets dynamically expand the GUI. We have much better control of our GUI layout if we embed frames within frames. This is what we will do in this video. The dynamic behavior of Python and its GUI modules can create a little bit of a challenge to really get our GUI looking the way we want. Here, we will embed frames within frames to get more control of our layout. This will establish a stronger hierarchy among the different UI elements, making the visual appearance easier to achieve. We will continue to use the GUI we created in the previous video. Here, we will create a top-level frame that will contain other frames and widgets. This will help us to get our GUI layout just the way we want. In order to do so, we will have to embed our current controls within a central ttk.label frame. This ttk.label frame is a child of the main parent window, and all the controls will be children of this ttk.label frame. Up to this point in our videos, we have assigned all widgets to our main GUI frame directly. Now, we will only assign our label frame to our main window, and after that, we will make this label frame the parent container for all the widgets. This creates a hierarchy in our GUI layout like so. In this diagram, when is the variable that references our main GUI tkinter window frame. Monty is the variable that references our label frame and is a child of the main window frame when. And the label and all other widgets are now placed into the label frame container, Monty. We will add a few lines of code towards the top of our Python module. Next, we will modify all the following controls to use Monty as the parent, replacing when. That's it. Let's check the output now. Note how all the widgets are now contained in the MontyPython label frame, which surrounds all of them with a barely visible thin line. Next, we can reset the labels in a frame widget to the left without messing up our GUI layout. Oops, maybe not. While our frame within another frame aligned nicely to the left, it again pushed our top widgets into the center, a default. In order to align them to the left, we have to force our GUI layout by using the sticky property. By assigning it W, west, we can control the widget to be left aligned. I'm also removing this text. Let's run the code. Note how we align the label, but not the text box below it. We have to use the sticky property for all the controls we want to left align. We could do that in a loop, using the when_info_children and grid_configure parenthesis sticky equals W parenthesis properties, as we did before in video 2 of this section. The winfo_children function returns a list of all the children belonging to the parent. This enables us to loop through all the widgets and change their properties. Using tkinter to force left, right, top, bottom, the naming is very similar to Java, west, east, north, and south. Abbreviated to W and so on. We can also use the syntax tk.w instead of W. In a previous video, we combined both W and E to make our scroll text widget attach itself both to the left and right sides of its container using WE. We can add more combinations NSE. NSE will stretch our widget to the top, bottom, and right side. If we only have one widget in our form, for example, a button, we can make it fill in the entire frame by using all options in SWE. We can also use tuple syntax. Sticky equals parenthesis tk.n, comma tk.s, comma tk.w, comma tk.e, and parenthesis. Let's change the very long label back and align the entry in column 0 to the left. Let's check our output. As you can see, we have a GUI the way we wanted it to be. Awesome! Now, in order to separate the influence that the length of our label frame has on the rest of our GUI layout, we must not place this label frame into the same label frame as the other widgets. Instead, we assign it directly to the main GUI form when. We will do this in later sections. We've nicely aligned our GUI now. Good. In the next video, we'll create menu bars.